I think it's necessary to say that Sweden joined NATO because we perceive the threat of Russia as very alarming. Already before the Russian full-scale invasion of Ukraine in 2022, in December of 2021, the foreign minister of Russia, Sergei Lavrov, sent a letter to the world where he said that, among other things, that Sweden and Finland were never going to be allowed to join NATO. Now, this was of course an incursion on our sovereignty, and the full-scale invasion showed very clearly what Russia is capable of doing and why it was necessary for both Sweden and Finland to join this organization. And we have done so successfully, and now we are part of a military alliance which are going to protect us and our populations. We perceive the threat as quite alarming, and this is exactly why it is necessary to support Ukraine, so that Ukraine can win decisive military victories in the battlefield, because this is the only thing that is going to make Russia cease and desist and decide upon another course, which history shows. Unfortunately, it is only when Russia is militarily defeated that things happen and they strike another political course. Foreign policy also means that we show an interest to the rest of the world. And we have to make a very clear link between what is going on with Russia's war against Ukraine and, of course, the question of what's going on in the Indo-Pacific. If we want the US and if we want the American people to remain interested in what's going on in our part of the world, we have to be interested in what's going on in the Indo-Pacific, where China's assertiveness towards our partners, Japan, South Korea, Australia and New Zealand, means that that region is also facing threats. And if Russia were to win in Ukraine, that would mean a challenge to the whole of a rules-based international order, which Sweden takes so much pride in and believes so strongly in. Institutions like the United Nations wouldn't really be able to cope with the situation. I think that the Council of the Baltic Sea States, which was an organization created in the 1990s for the aim of getting the Baltic states and also Poland into the European Union by enabling them with knowledge and also competence, which was held by the other states, when that task was concluded, the organization developed into something else. They started to deal with social insurance, childcare, drug prevention, all very important and necessary stuff. And now all of a sudden, the 1990s are behind us, the long period of 25 years of peace are also behind us, war is back on the table in Europe because of Russia's illegal aggression against Ukraine. And all of a sudden we have this format, which means that all democratic states with the coast around the Baltic Sea, and also Norway and Iceland, which are there because they are Nordic states, have the ability to cooperate on security matters. I personally believe that we should continue to develop the Council of the Baltic Sea States into a platform where countries like Poland, where we are now, definitely have a place not only at the table but as a strong, important partner in the endeavors to create more security and more cooperation on security in the Baltic Sea region. So I think that we definitely would like to see development taking place within this format, and this format is of course important first and foremost within the EU, not within NATO, because NATO is of course an organization which shouldn't have regionalization, but on security matters. And security again is more than defense.